PSV60 back again with my extra special guest.
Howdy, folks. Leave my wife here. Oh, Jesus Christ.
And I'm going to
fast
speed
forward.
it up almost immediately. Yeah, this was, after I hit that save point, I finally had the time to look up and figure out exactly where I'd missed the portal switch for the Flesh Eater portal. And I didn't want to just immediately open into a jump cut.
Yes, because backtracking is so much better.
I feel like that makes it worth it.
Okay, that justified the whole thing.
Also, I get to go down those nauseating spinning platforms.
And fast forward?
Yep. Also, there's this guy, which I have no explanations for. Also, I just love how stuff sounds in fast forward.
Oh, God.
Yeah, going down them was not fun. I think I re-recorded it about... I think I re-recorded this intro thing about 4 times. Just because I kept falling off of those platforms.
Oh.
There's the guy I took out with one arrow and got confused by. Once I hit it, I think you can understand how I managed to miss the switch.
This is one where you're firing tech arrows at the guy, you killed him, and then you blew up the barrel behind him and did not go investigate it.
Yep.
I always forget you had the flare gun.
Son of a bitch. I remembered I had it in the zombie level. Aricey. River of Souls. I can remember every name for it except the actual name. I haven't used it since then. Stuff's been a little bit, stuff was a good bit brighter in most of the death marshes. Let's go get that nuke piece, shall we? I'd say we've got enough heavy ordnance that there's not really anything that could be in here to scare us anymore.
But still, it's kind of creepy shit.
Yeah, just a little bit. I mean, they are called flesh eaters.
I don't know, is this actually the Primogen's light ship, or...?
It is not. These are... spawn of the big bad that's in the 3rd game, to be technical. Oblivion, which I think was in the comics as well. But these are not related to the Primogen at all.
Oh, so what the hell are they doing here?
They want Turok dead. Because they want to see Oblivion brought back. I don't know where Oblivion needs to be brought back from, but they want to see him brought back.
Wait, so when they were making this one, did they have plans for a 3rd game?
I'm not sure if it was plans for the 3rd game or if this was just kind of a nod to some of the stuff in the comics. At this point, rather, I can't remember if it was in between 1 and 2 or if it was before 1.
Nice.
Acclaim had bought a lot of the stuff from Valiant Comics, and they fully owned like the Turok comics and started publishing some of them under Acclaim Comics.
Oh.
So I don't know if they had legitimate plans to make a 3rd Turok already. I mean, the first one sold really well. This one broke some of the first one's, the goals that they set for the first one in pre-orders alone.
Wow.
So I guess they expected that they'd be making a third one. It's kind of a shame, really. Like, there's such a big dip in quality between what I'm playing of 2 and what I remember of 3. I'm not really sure what happened. And then after 3, everything just kind of fell apart for Turok.
Well, there was Rage Wars.
Yeah, and I will be playing Rage Wars. I want to try to find some way to, I gotta find some way to get a couple of people involved. I don't know if I can do, like, net play with a couple of people from the thread for it, which is, I mean, ideally what I'd like to, but I don't know if there's any N64 emulators that can do that. One thing to note with these guys that I'm sure it works with other people too, or other enemies, I should say. Stuff that gets set on fire tends to run around screaming.
I remember when we first wandered into one of these things. It's, you know, basically piss your pants. This shit's bad in here. And now it's just like, whatever.
Yeah, there's nothing really too bad in them anymore.
Just, where's my nuke piece?
Okay, I'm here, everybody. Everybody take a boar. You get a boar, and you get a boar, and you get a boar.
We already did. We watched your first video.
Oh, I shouldn't laugh at that.
You have found part of the nuke weapon.
Yeah, because the nuke's not important to the story like the Chronoceptor was.
Nope, it's just a handheld nuke. And that was the only thing to come back here for. So don't miss that.
Flamethrower.
Don't miss that if you can avoid it. Anyhow, to get back to actual progress now.
Hey, the save point again.
Yep. Approaching that drops 2 spiders. Which, otherwise, there's no way to open the door. And you have to walk up and touch the door. Otherwise, these spiders will not drop. And it took me a little bit to figure out how I was supposed to get through there.
You never considered touching the door?
I didn't think it would open.
Oh god, an entrail, what the fuck?
I've got plenty of ways to take care of him. And an irritating spider that's going to ruin my view.
Really, it's more like a view from the entrails perspective.
I never thought of it that way, but that actually makes perfect sense.
That was a scary jump.
It's a lot further than you would expect, too. You can jump from that walkway that's above us there. Let's get a captive audience for this one. Oh. Well.
Invisimurder. Oh, and he's gone.
Well, as I was saying before, you can ignore that jump for the most part, as the walkway that's above us is one of the walkways that was in that out-of-the-way area where we got the boar.
Oh.
You can just drop off of there and continue on this way, but I really didn't want to backtrack more than I already had to. I was very sick of the blind ones at this point.
I don't blame you. I'm fucking tired of them. I mean, God, we're spending, what, 5 videos here? 6?
This is the 6th. Yep, 6 videos. On 1 level.
That's just horrible. It's not like they're short videos or anything.
No, this was, I want to say this was probably about 2 hours and... maybe about 2 hours and 20 minutes total. 2.5 hours. And that's edited down. And sped up in some instances. I probably cut Total, I want to say I cut probably a good 45 minutes of backtracking out, and then sped up some other parts. Mostly sped up. I like the noises these guys make when it's high-pitched.
I love how you slowly pan up and just like, wait for it, wait for it.
It's not entirely by choice, I'll say. When you zoom in all the way with any of the sniper weapons, the cursor goes from moving at the regular looking around speed to this really slow crawl.
Well, that guy stepped off the edge. You're not getting that arrow back.
No, and that's screwing with my need to have my ammo topped off. I've got an arrow collection. Now it's incomplete. I'm gonna blame it on this guy.
Close, but no cigar. There we go.
The collision detection in this game is actually really good for the most part. And that just barely hit the edge, and I just stepped forward maybe another, what, a single step?
Full health.
I mean, it's not like firing some of the arrows in Dark Souls. I've never seen two spiders fight before. I didn't even know they could.
They were trying to make love.
That's how we get these giant spiders.
Yep.
Inter-spider species breeding.
That's right, sometimes interspecies breeding leads to riding the short bus, sometimes it makes giant spiders. No one can really predict what's gonna happen. I'm sorry, that was horribly insensitive, wasn't it?
Oh, not really. Maybe these spiders need to ride a short bus. The Cerebral War can't find them, they can't be that smart.
Well, you probably just lost a viewer or 3 because of that.
Probably. Oh, wait, 3. That's all of them.
You still got me. However, I am offended by your line of conversation, so I'm not watching anymore either.
I don't need that health over there. There's a lot more ammo and health spawners in this game than I remembered there being. These fireworms just look really cool. It kind of goes back into where you were a long time ago when you were saying that you were kind of wishing that there was a Tremors-based game. That spider came to claim that guy.
Oh shit. No, if there was a Tremors game, like, I'm pretty sure I would pre-order it. From Amazon, have it shipped to my door day 1.
I don't know what kind of game I'd even want it to be. Like, I don't know if I'd want it to be, like, some sort of, like, open world or MMO style game where you have to, like, get a group of, like, 3 or 4 people down to plan out this hunt for one of the graboids. And it's actually kind of, like, a big deal, some kind of event where you're going to hunt it down. Or if I, like, would just maybe kind of want it to be something more like, you know, something more like Monster Rancher, where it's just, you know, it's you, and you go out and you hunt it.
I think you're thinking Monster Hunter, not Monster Rancher.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever, I will take the Graboid Raising Sim.
That would also be good. I play video games, I swear.
I was just kind of thinking like a Telltale game.
Yeah, that wouldn't be bad.
Sunfire pod.
Actually, I don't know if I've ever played a Telltale game. I know most of them are kind of like the older style point-and-click games. Monkey Island and such.
Yeah, for the most part, they're good, but when they hit their highs, they hit their highs. When they hit their lows, they hit their lows.
It's probably going to be a while before I get through any of them. I've got a massive backlog. But then again, I'm pretty sure everybody with a Steam account has a massive backlog of games.
Yeah. I think it's part of the license agreement.
On the upside, since the Steam sales aren't as good anymore, I'm buying less stuff that I'm not playing.
Yeah, when the hell do you get the Firestorm cannon? I thought that was at this level too.
If it is, I don't know where it's at in here.
Yeah.
I know we do get it in the next level.
Oh, well, it probably is the next level, huh?
Which the next level's my favorite, I think.
We still got a boss fight here, right?
We do. It has a really silly name. Don't know if I want to spoil it yet.
You probably don't.
But it's...
Oh!
Oh, those arrows just barely screwed me up enough.
I knew that was coming.
See if I can take some vengeance out on this guy. Breathing sped up is great. No, I'm not going to bother going after him. On the upside, if we do fall off of there, we're really not too far. Like, it's not much backtracking at all. We're already back up here.
But enough where you felt the need to speed it back up.
That's because of this. I was angry I got knocked off. So I tried to take this guy out. For some reason, I'm convinced that the plasma rifle's the gun to do it. Before getting smart.
There we go.
Little kid shouldn't watch this. Okay.
Okay, he's dead now. It's safe for children.
Yes. As long as they don't actually see it happen. People can die in animated stuff. Or maybe it's, maybe since he's not technically a human... Oh, Boar's picking up that guy. The one that filled me with arrows.
Goodbye.
Is there two of them? I don't know what happened to that second boar. I think he's out of range now. No, I don't know if these guys would fall under the animation rule of that you can't show people dying, but like monsters and robots are perfectly fine. Yeah, you could see there I still had the boar out with the spiders, and the boar couldn't even tell they were there. If the boar does not lock onto something, you just can't fire it.
Too bad you can't dry fire the boar.
It won't fire as far as I know. It's possible that I just didn't try, but pretty sure it wouldn't work when I pulled the trigger.
Nah, I don't remember you being able to dry fire it.
That was a jumping spider. You can hear that crystal noise, which means we're finally near the last key. After nearly a good, oh, I don't even know how long I've been in this level for at this point. I just know I don't want to get... I don't want to die this close to the end.
It could very well happen.
This guy will show evidence of why the blind ones are still somewhat blind. I don't really understand what what to really make of them, because sometimes they do stuff like that, or they just kind of walk off the edge of a cliff and float in midair. Other times it seems like they can see where I'm at pretty well.
That whole blind thing's bullshit.
Plasma rifle. Sniper capability enabled.
Part of me wants to say that that's a conspiracy theory started by the surface dwellers. Just so we won't feel bad about murdering them. But then I got stuff like this, so... yeah, it's bullshit.
Ultra health.
And unfortunately we don't get any goodies in the exit portal chamber this time.
You must save the totem.
But we've got a
Turok.
totem to defend.
Defend the totem!
Blind ones madly rush it. You don't even really need to do all of these. I forget how many you actually need to do. I want to. It's either 4 or 5. But if you don't defend some of the totems, it's not really a big deal.
Really?
I know if they take all of the totems, you can still play the game. You can fail the objective. You can fail to protect any of the totems, and it just changes the ending.
Mission accomplished.
Does it change the ending a lot, or?
I don't remember. I'll find out when I get there. For now, though, we'll just take our teleport out and not go back to the hub world. Huh. No. This is...
yeah, this is the boss.
The first
I thought
boss
it was.
of Turok 2.
This is the first boss?
This is the first boss you fight in Turok 2.
Well, I guess this is the first official boss, isn't it?
Yep, if there are other bosses, none of them have a health bar. I mean, there's been some decent fights towards the end of levels.
Yeah, because I kind of thought like the River of Souls, the blue ladies.
Yeah, the Sisters of Despair.
I kind of thought of those as like boss fights. Like mini boss fights, but boss fights all the same.
Yeah, kinda. Kind of. I'm gonna choose to not count them as like bosses, mostly because they don't have a health bar. And all the bosses in Turok 1 had a health bar. But this guy's gonna start by throwing maggots at us. Extremely large maggots that do a little more damage than the spiders do. And also, instead of calling him this guy, it's named the Golden Eye.
What?
Yup.
I didn't know that was this thing's name.
That's what it's named. I was always, when I played it as a kid, I was under the impression that this thing was called the Blind One.
That's what I thought it was.
But according to Turok's wiki, it is called the Golden Eye.
Wow.
Yep, and it's just a giant eye that sits in a room, surrounded by these strange tentacles, spewing maggots at you, sitting in a giant pool of acid. And at this point, I'm out of shredder ammo. I can't tell if the spawners that are in the health arena, in the boss's arena, are on a timer, or if they just kind of have set periods that they respawn at, like maybe before each of the boss's various waves. Because we had those like kind of spiked tentacles as the first wave. Wave 2, we get these little polyps that barf acid onto us. Which are more than a little disgusting.
Of course, when you're fighting a giant friggin' eyeball. Although on a side note, if you had the nuke, this is the only boss in the game that it affects.
I did not know that, actually. I want to like the nuke more than I do, but by the time you get the nuke, there's nothing really left to kill.
Well, same deal with Chronoceptor.
I've never been able to hit the Primogen with the nuke.
Hey, he can't be damaged by it, though.
Oh, he can't? Okay. That would explain why I've never been able to successfully hit him.
Yep, and there's 4 bosses in the game, because I just went to the Turok wiki myself.
There are?
Yep.
And I forgot what all of them were for a minute there.
Ah, you want me to talk about it here, or...?
We can wait till we get there. There's not a whole lot left here. Because this is the last phase of the boss fight. We get these huge thumping tentacles that have 2 attacks, even though they really only use the one where they slam the ground and make a shockwave. They can just kind of reach out and try to smack you too. Like there. Unless that's just an animation and not an attack, but... I don't know, it looks like it's kind of trying to attack me at least.
Although I do like that, like the boss you fight here is actually like the whole arena.
It's a nice change of pace. And now that the arena's destroyed, though, there's nothing left of it except that giant eye in the middle. Just ever staring at us.
And you're defeated by throwing a Sunfire pod into it.
I didn't try that, but I should have.
Oh.
That is so much goop.
And now you do a Mega Man and pop up through the hole.
More or less, yes. We did get 2 more useless cheats out of that. One for beating the level, and then the second one for beating the boss.
Ooh.
I don't remember what they are.
Oh.
I'll show them off eventually.
Whatever, just remember the ultimate cheat for this game is beware, oblivion is at hand.
Turok. How may I assist you?
Can't forget that or the first game's one.
Game saved.
On the 8th day, God created Turok.
With that, have a good night, folks.
We're finally out of the Blind One's lair.
Whee!